Cześć! Zapraszamy Was na spacer po Bristolu, ponieważ Dominik...
Tak, chcę przekonać Natalię, że jest to świetne miejsce do życia. A tak w ogóle Bristol wygrał w tym roku nagrodę jako miasto najlepsze i najbardziej przyjazne właśnie do życia. Także zapraszamy Was na świetny spacer.
Bristol położony jest w najbardziej nasłonecznionej części Anglii i oferuje liczne atrakcje turystyczne oraz multum festiwali. Najbardziej znanym na świecie jest Balloon Fiesta, który odbywa się regularnie w sierpniu już od ponad 30 lat. A także Harbour Festival, Upfest rozpowszechniony dzięki Banksiemu, czy pomniejsze jak szekspirowski, Festiwal Świateł, Latawców, Piwa i wiele innych. To poprzecinane kanałami miasto jest naszpikowane architekturą sięgającą nawet XII wieku. Z wciąż czynnie używanymi budynkami jak najstarszy w Anglii dworzec kolejowy Temple Meads czy scena w teatrze Oldvic. Lecz ciężko to pokazać wszystko w krótkim filmie. Spróbujemy w 3 odsłonach ukazać bogactwo tego miejsca, wspierając się wywiadem z Tess i Brianem, którzy mimo że są związani z Bristolem całe życie, to ich fascynacja nie ulega zmianie. Więc posłuchajmy jak było i zobaczmy jak jest.
My name's Tessa. I'm 82 years old. I live in Bristol and I was born in Bristol, but we left this area when we got married in 1958, and we since then have lived all over England, and we finished up our travels over England by living in Barcelona in Spain for 3 years.
Obviously my story is identical to Tessa's story, because we met when we were teenagers and we were married quite young, and so the entire story is the same. I was born in Bristol. We were married in Bristol and then we moved around the country, different jobs. I travelled a lot around the world as part of my work, and then we lived in Spain and worked in Spain, not just on the beach, unfortunately. And then we came back here and we've been living in this apartment for 30 years.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
What do you love most in Bristol?
Do you know, I can dive into that. There's a famous English writer called Samuel Johnson, and the one phrase that everybody knows is he said, it's in the 17th century, he said, the man who's tired of London is tired of life. Now Bristol is the size now that London was when he made that remark. And what he meant was, is whatever you want to do, you can do it. Somewhere in London, somebody is onto that. And Bristol is getting like that. It's so vibrant.
Pierwsza atrakcja, coś z czego Bristol jest absolutnie dumny, czyli Clifton Bridge.
Visiting the suspension bridge and the Avon Gorge, pretty high up, maybe the top thing. Tessa's is dancing. I happen to have a deep interest in Shakespeare. Whatever it is, you'll find activities. We both quite enjoy classical music, and we go to the Polish Music Society, which is just within walking distance from here. Okay. Bristol just gives you everything you want.
Also, Bristol is very, very diverse. and it has some very, very poor parts of Bristol, which are nothing like as beautiful and have been made to house people, social housing, which is a great pity there's not any more of at the moment. Bristol is wanting more houses, people need more places to live, and Bristol's got a very big ethnic quarter down in St Paul's and Montpellier, which adds to its vibrancy, because down in Stapleton Road there's the most wonderful shop called the Sweet Mart. I think you ought to go down there and take pictures. It's a fantastic shop that sells ethnic foods, and it sells absolutely everything. And if you go to the Sweet Mart, you can buy anything you possibly can. It's an area of Bristol which is not a bit like Clifton, and makes it really interesting. Bristol changed totally. It became more outgoing, and down by the waterside where you've been, where there's the watershed and the media centre and there's a lot of cafes.
Yeah.
That was all cranes and lighters and barges and commercial shipping. It was a very dangerous place, but it was quite an interesting place. And suddenly that became like it is now. They were beginning to put shops in funny places, they were having restaurants in strange places. And we could see that Bristol was becoming very interesting. And when we had to choose somewhere to come back to from Barcelona, we chose to come back here. Then it seems to have changed almost by the hour. And when we bought this flat, Clifton was a very, very pretty place, but there was probably one little cafe in Clifton and shops for meat, shops for vegetables, just ordinary shops. But in the last 30 years it's changed into cafes, restaurants, shoe shops, luxury shops. Quite different.
It's quite vibrant here.
Very vibrant, yes, and very, very touristy here now. I mean, on a Saturday, we don't go out into Clifton so much on a Saturday or a Sunday because there's just too many people. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's okay.
It's how we're educated.
Yes, it's how we're educated, yeah.
Though,
that's a long
thinking about
question.
what we love about Bristol, one of the things to love about this bit, Clifton Village, is that you can walk in one direction and you're in the middle of town.
Yes.
In 20 minutes we can be at the university, the museum, the Victoria Rooms, all of that. In half an hour we can walk to the city centre. Whereas if we turn in the other direction out of our front door, we can walk across a suspension bridge and we're in open country. So it's almost as though we were in a little medieval town where the town stops and the country starts, and we love that too.
Yeah.
We have a wonderful old theatre here called the Bristol Old Vic.
Oh yes, definitely.
And it's quite controversial because it's the oldest
theatre
working theatre in the country.
In England, yes.
It's quite small, so it's a beautiful place to experience. But it's a bit controversial because at the moment they're mainly doing, let's be charitable and call it experimental theatre. And of course, like all experiments, 9 experiments out of 10 don't really work. So you get some awful disappointments if you actually go to a play. But the theatre itself is just a wonderful historic building.
Yeah, right now that is being reconstructed big time. There's a lot of money being spent and they've got builders in and they've been stripping it back to the original building, and theatre was not available in England at one time. It was all very secret. So they had an entrance through a house at the front, and that house has now been stripped away, and you can get the frontage, you can see the frontage, but the history of this particular little theatre is fantastic.
Spitfire, świetna restauracja, żeby dobrze zjeść. Nie polecam brać dużej porcji, bo jeśli wy nie daliście radę, myślę, jeśli ja nie dałem rady, to wy nie dacie. Wróć.
Again.
Za nami świetna restauracja Spitfire, bardzo dobry pomysł na zabranie swojej lubej na randkę. Świetne porcje, bardzo dużo jedzenia i jeśli ja nie dałem rady, to nie bierzcie dużej porcji.
I think your generation are particularly good at meeting people. I think partly it's social media that's done it, and meeting people is rather different. It's outside family, it's outside very close friends. You have a lot of very interesting people that you come across and you find out things about and you store them away somewhere.
Tymczasem opuszczamy Tess i Briana, udajemy się w dalszą część naszego spaceru po Bristolu. Tym samym zapraszamy Was na naszą grupę na Facebooku, bo chcieć to móc, oraz do subskrypcji kanału, jeżeli jesteście zainteresowani, co dalej się wydarzyło, a także interesują Was nowe ciekawe miejsca w Anglii, które będziemy chcieli Wam przedstawić w niedługim czasie. Zapraszamy, trzymajcie się i hej! I jeszcze mała zagadka od Natalii na sam koniec.
Szybka zagadka dla Was. Jak myślicie, co to jest? Jeśli nie wiecie, a chcielibyście się dowiedzieć, to już w następnym odcinku o Bristol Street Art opowiemy Wam coś więcej.